Welcome everybody to Scarborough High School in today's Class A South Boys quarterfinal between the number 3 seed Scarborough Red Storm and your number 6 seed Deering Rams. And today's game is going to be a good one. Deering coming off of an overtime win against Marshwood, and Scarborough coming with a bye.
Yeah, that Deering game, we covered it. Man, was that something else. 2 minutes into the overtime, Almeida, with a guy right on top of him, had the ball and spun around and hit a left-footed shot that just went past the goalie. He had no idea it was coming, but it went straight right in. And boy, did the crowd go crazy. And I think you did too. So that was great for Deering.
Yeah, that was just a couple days ago. So quick turnaround here for Deering. Need to get right back into that emotional state here against Scarborough. But the Scarborough team is not to be played with. They finished the regular season at 12 wins, 1 loss, and 1 tie. So it's going to be pretty difficult to beat this Scarborough team.
Yeah, I mean, there are so many good teams in this division that, whoever comes out of it is going to be, definitely tested and ready to go for a state title. Because even though Deering is 6th ranked, they played really hard. But this year, the teams they had to play against are exceptional. And so this should be a great game. And really excited to be able to be here to film it, to share it with the public.
Yeah, both of these teams have played recently. It was a game that Jack Borland did not play in. He was injured for that game, and Deering lost that game 2-0. And the goals were scored by Connor Casey and Khalil Gaucher. And so Deering's going to look to get their revenge on this Scarborough team.
Yeah, and they're very capable. And this is the time when all these soccer players get to shine. And I don't expect to see anything but greatness tonight.
Yeah, keys for Deering, they definitely have to start off strong. They need to be able to score the first goal here against Scarborough. They do not want to let the Scarborough team work their way into the game. This would be the 3rd time we've seen this Scarborough team, and they are very hard to score on. Yeah,
they really are. And, and we got it here early enough to see this is actually the second game of a doubleheader. The Scarborough girls played just before, and they won their match. So they're moving on. And so now it's up to the boys to try to match that and move on. So a little bit of pressure there, and we'll see what they do.
Yeah, so Deering has an uphill battle, but they do have their rock in the back, Jack Borland, here for this game. And so we'll see who wins this game. They get the pleasure of playing the winner of Falmouth and Biddeford. They play tomorrow, but either one of these teams can win tonight, but one of them has to win, whether it's in regulation, overtime, or in the dreaded shootout.
And that is dreaded.
And so we'll see who comes out on top between the Red Storm and the Rams, and we'll be back for player introductions.
Good evening. On behalf of the administration, faculty, staff, and students, we welcome you to Scarborough High School in the Kippy Mitchell Sports Complex for tonight's Class A quarterfinal varsity boys soccer matchup between the number 6 seeded Rams of Deering High School and our very own number 3 seeded Scarborough Red Storm. The teams in the field and their schools strongly advocate good sportsmanship and ask that you treat everyone with courtesy, cheer for your team and not against the other team, treat officials with respect, and use appropriate language and behavior. Please help keep our facility clean by following all facility rules. No pets on campus, no food, flavored drinks, or gum in the turf field area, and please dispose of your trash properly. Remember, only game personnel are allowed in the playing area, and the use of tobacco products is strictly prohibited at all Scarborough school facilities. And now let's meet the starters for tonight's contest. First, for the visiting Rams of Deering High School. In goal, number 0, junior Jack Borland. Number 2, senior captain Luke Newell. Number 8, senior Alberto Lucas Beata. Number 9, senior captain Peter Sargent. Number 11, senior captain Ethan Fisher. Number 12, junior Flavio Ngimbi Nisenga. Number 16, junior Ibrahim Abdullahi. Number 17, senior Augusta Danielle. Number 20, junior Guillermo Francisco Zoze. Number 28, sophomore Samuel Almeida. And number 36, junior Antonio Soriano Lujan. The Rams are coached by Joel Costigan. He's assisted by Hader Alfrehi, Stephen Cording, Kevin Bailey, and Justin Nichols. And now the starters for our Scarborough Red Storm. In goal, number 1, senior Seamus Corey. Number 5, sophomore Papa Ose. Number 7, senior Matt Falona. Number 8, junior Ibrahim Jabril. Number 9, junior Denver Bachman. Number 10, senior Santana Diaz. Number 11, junior Khalil Goshe. Number 13, senior Cooper Maller. Number 14, senior Matt Booth. Number 15, junior Finn Coburn. And number 23, junior Carter Blanche. The Red Storm's coached by Mark Diaz. He's assisted by Dave Wakeham and Brian Adams. We will not be playing the national anthem as it was previously played prior to our varsity girls soccer playoff game earlier this evening.
And here we go for the start of this game. Deering starting off with the ball. Deering in their road whites with purple lettering. And Scarborough is in their red and black stripe home jerseys with white lettering. Daniel. And
is it a corner already?
Yeah, it's a corner. And Blanche watched that go out of bounds, thinking it was off of Deering. And it's off the post. So Scarborough, it's a turnover. Fisher getting it back to Jose. Fisher will come back to it. He'll put it to the middle, but it was deflected off of Herrick in the midfield.
Well, and that's the quick start you were mentioning about in the opening that Deering needed to have. And now we're going to have
and it's the ball in the where the goalkeeper has it. Borland put it right on the yellow line, and so the ref told him to put it back a little bit.
So I just have to say about that, the referee was on the 50-yard line, and he noticed that ball not being where it's supposed to be. So if anyone's got any complaints about the calls of this referee tonight, he could see 150 feet away. So
Lujan gets to the corner. Blanche will kick it. And did it go out of play? It did go out of play. So sometimes when those go straight up on the sideline, you're not sure if it goes out or not. And that's with the sideline refs now having 3.
Ooh. That was a little bit of a shoulder right there. Non-call.
It's brought down by Bachman. And it's going to roll all the way to Blanche. Booth bringing up the sideline, will cross it in. It gets by everyone. It fell to Filona. Filona will put it back in there. And still not out. It rolls out towards the sideline, picked up by Booth and taken away by Masinga.
Wow, big opportunity there for Scarborough, and Deeren played that well. No fouls in the 18-yard box.
And that's going to go off of Booth out of bounds, so Deering wins the throw. That's going to sky high. It's not out just yet. And that's going to be an offsides by Denver Bachman.
Well, you know, that's a save right there for being offsides. We just saw Deeren save with a lot of players around, and now there was a goal taken off the board for offsides. Scarborough, in the last minute or so, is really threatening against this Deeren team.
It's kicked up the middle. Taken away, Daniel, and it was O'Shea coming in, but Deeren keeps possession. It's in the middle. Abdullahi misplaying it, will get back to it. It's into Lujan. That's misplayed.
Oh, man,
and
oh, man.
That's going to go out of bounds off of Ibrahim Jabril. And so Deering will get their second corner.
Well, they got to get this one a little further out front. The first corner kick hit the side of the net.
Ethan Fisher taking it. It's low, and it's kicked out. Sargent not able to get it to a Deering foot. It's Bachman will boot it high into the air, and Borland will catch it easily, putting it out to Jose.
Easy takeaway. Oh.
And it was Newell right there. And it's just going to be booted away.
They got to keep the ball on the ground. This Scarborough team is intercepting those high passes, and they got to keep the ball on the ground. If not, they're going to be in big trouble.
It's going to be a long throw. Carter Blanche. And Sargent glances off his head. Deering able to get it away. It's out wide. It's going to fall to Gaucher. And it's going to be kept in by Booth.
Nice play. Great hustle.
Crossed in there, Deering, and that's going to sail over the net by Jabril. It's Sargent. And that one is going to be a Deering throw. See if Deering can put some pressure on the back line of this Scarborough team. Skied into the air.
Back header. Oh, nice.
Taken away, Jabril will get it out wide to Booth. It's down the sideline. It's crossed in. And it's out of there.
Okay, Darren, you got to get moving.
Abdullahi will bring it back to the center. It's kicked in there. And it's going to go out wide. Bachman will get it in there. Intended for Gaucher.
Well, and the one thing that I've kind of noticed that Scarborough's sending like one player up, and they seem to be getting the ball almost to that one player. Darren's got to be careful.
And it's one back for Daniel. We're going to get a substitute for Deering. Just over 30 and a half minutes to go here in this first half. It is 0-0. And that one's going to roll out for a goal kick. Bachman will cross it in there. And it was almost misplayed by Borland, but able to catch it before Gaucher got a touch on that.
Nice boot.
It's taken by Diaz. It's kicked down the field, not able to be brought down, and that's going to be a
Yellow?
foul.
Maybe a yellow, maybe just a talking to. It's still early in the game.
Yeah, just a foul, so
Well, that's his warning.
it's kicked in there. And it deflects to Borland, who catches it easily, will boot it up. And it's goalie to goalie. The other goaltender, Seamus Corey, hasn't had much to do so far.
Got to keep the ball down on the ground, boys.
Fisher will get it to Jose. And that one is going to be a foul. It's going to be Peter Sargent. Nope. So they switch back to Peter Sargent. Alberto Lucas Beato was over it. It sailed in there and headed away, booted out by Jabril. Misplayed. Jabril will get it out wide to Gaucher. And taken away by Bayada. And Gaucher getting it right back for Scarborough. It falls right to Booth. Gaucher gets it.
He looked a little offsides.
And there's the offside call.
Yeah, he looked a little offsides.
.27 minutes to go in the first half. And they're putting it back a little bit further towards the end line.
Well, we know Sargent's got a good boot because he kicked it down to the other goalie.
It's booted down. Gets up to Bachman, but taken away by Sargent. And that one sails out for Jabril, trying to get it to Gaucher. Abdullahi gets it into the middle of the field, Newell, and Jabril intercepts that. Sargent boots it high into the air.
Oh.
And that was not touched by a Scarborough player, so it's going to be a throw-in for Scarborough.
Yeah, that looked a little misplayed. I think he knew where it was needed to go, but it was just too far away.
And that one didn't even go in. Taken quickly, Abdullahi, and taken away. Bachman, Abdullahi coming back. It fell to Gomez. Gomez getting the ball taken away.
Yeah, he hung on to it a little bit too long, and I don't know if any of his teammates told him someone was coming up behind him, and had the ball taken away.
Yeah, Deering giving Jack Borland some breathing time. He's been under duress a lot so far this first half.
Well, there again, they've only got one player up, and yet they're moving the ball.
Cooper wins that for Deering. Abdullahi will stop, getting it to Newell. It's up. Sargent will get it, getting around the defender. Blanche, and that one is booted away by Coburn. And this back line for Scarborough has not let anything go by them. And it's going to be a free kick in a dangerous area for Scarborough. Deering have a chance to run a set piece here. Two players over the ball. Ethan Fisher and Peter Sargent. Sargent touches it for Fisher, back and over the net, taking a deflection.
And those ones right there, we've seen a few goals go in between the tippity top of the goalie's fingers and they're going to call it a goal kick.
No, it is a corner. It's just on the other side.
The other side, okay. I saw the referee kicking the ball away. But we've seen a few of those go between the tips of the goalie's fingers and the top crossbar and go in. It almost looked like that's what was going to happen, which would have been fortunate for Deering, but they got a corner kick. This is their third one, right?
It is.
And so they really got to try to do something with this one.
Peter Sargent taking this one. And it's going to be headed away, so it's going to be another corner.
Okay.
So the fourth corner for Deering. It is Ethan Fisher running over to take it. This one bends in, and it's going to be another corner. It's going to be another corner. So Deering finally putting pressure on this Scarborough team.
Well, will the third time be a charm?
This one goes out again. They got to get it a little higher. But the more you take, it's finally out of there, and Scarborough momentarily gets out of pressure.
Maybe his leg was a little tired to try to lift that ball after 3 corner kicks in a row. So,
yeah, it's unfortunate for Deering having that many corner kicks in a row.
And not even having a golden opportunity at a goal. 2 on one side and 1 on the other.
Sargent heading it. It's
nice pass.
Fisher. And the ball is taken away. And Fisher will win the throw-in. It's another throw-in in the corner.
Well, Deering with pressure. They just got to get the ball in the front of the net.
And the field ref coming. Field ref coming in to tell the Scarborough bench that they were too close to the sideline. It's going to be a long throw. And that one goes out. 19 and a half minutes to go in the first half. 0-0 between Scarborough and Deering.
Well, I can see one thing that they're going to need to talk about at halftime, and that's when they have opportunities, they got to get the ball in front of the net. They've had a few opportunities here, and they just can't get the ball in front of the net.
That one. And it's going to be a goal kick. Not sure if they called a foul. No, it did go over the line. I'm not sure. Normally when they wave the flag and point into a spot, it's a foul. And it's out wide to Booth. Gaucher will spin, keeps it in. No, it goes out.
Well, I'll tell you, that field referee, he's got hawk eyes, maybe even eagle eyes over there. He can see everything.
Bayada will get it to Fisher. Fisher getting it into the middle of the field. Abdullahi will be there to get the ball back. Dangerous pass. Abdullahi getting it, and Jabril taking him off the ball. He's going to boot it to the center. And nothing there. Out wide to Booth. Kicking it back to Falona. Booth. And Newell will boot it up the field. And misplayed. Sargent. And trying to get to Lujan, but too far out in front. Deering mounting pressure here. 16 and a half minutes to go.
Yeah, they've been putting the pressure on the last 5-10 minutes. They just need to put just that one little thing together, whatever that is. It's going to come. And when it does,
it's taken down. And that one's going to deflect for another corner.
all right, boys, something in front of the net.
It's going to be Peter Sargent going towards the corner. And we're going to get a substitute. Alfonso De Jesus coming in for the set piece. Sargent kicks it. And it's back out to Sargent. Sargent. And that takes... No, it's not deflected. And so it's going to be a goal kick. Bachman. De Jesus. Lujan backheels it, but it's out. Blanche will take the quick throw. No. Takes his time. Booted up. And it's going to be a foul on Deering.
Well, this is the action is definitely not slowed down. This is exactly what we expected in this game.
Misplayed. Bayada there, kicking it up.
Ooh.
And a high kick.
Yeah, you could see that one coming.
Sargent will take the free kick short. And Abdullahi can't play it. Abdullahi.
Ooh.
And nothing there. Out wide to Booth. Booth crossing it in. And it's miskicked by Gaucher.
Yeah, a little physical back on that other end. But the referees called a fair game, so he just had him play on.
12 and a half minutes to go. It's going to go out wide. And Jose getting it to Bayada. Jose kicking it to the middle. Takes a Deering hop. De Jesus can't play it. Sargent can't bring it down. Gaucher, and that's going to go out for a Deering throw. Takes a deflection. Deering with pressure, and it's behind Fisher. Fisher trying to get it in there. And Scarborough getting it out. Fisher will take a long-range shot, but Seamus there. And that's the first real save of this game so far for and it's taken away. That deflected. And Booth gets fouled by Sargent. So now Scarborough has a chance to run a set piece. Denver Bachman, the only one over the ball.
Yeah, unlike the other one that went the other direction with Scarborough hitting the Deering player, the ball was kind of in the vicinity. That one was no ball, and he knocked him down, so it's definitely a foul.
It's going to be kicked in there and headed away momentarily. It's kicked up the field. And it was Papa O.C. getting that out of danger. It's always a danger when you have those set pieces and you have everyone down the field. That's where that quick up the field by the other team, catching the back line far up. Scarborough with a great back line to be aware of where the ball was. kicked out towards the sideline, out of bounds, Deering throw. Abdullahi getting it in the corner. Will cross it in, headed away. And that one's going to be a corner. So the 8th corner of this game for Deering. 8 minutes to go here in the first half.
I mean, and we very rarely see that many for one whole game.
Peter Sargent, it's low and booted out of there by Finn Coburn. It's going to be a throw, yeah. And out of pressure, Bachman misplaying it.
Oh, handball.
And yeah, there's the call. You could see that once you make your arms that wide and you make your body bigger, it's a handball 10 out of 10 times.
Yeah, that was an easy call, even for my old eyes, because it landed right on the top of his hand. So I could see that.
Jose getting it to Fisher. De Jesus. And it's going to be out on Deering. 6.5 to go. Bayada getting it to De Jesus. Abdullahi. De Jesus. And it's out on Castellano. Headed backwards. Jabril. And that's going to be a handball.
Now, can that be a direct kick?
Yes, it can. But sometimes when you're this close, you want to move the wall a little bit. And that's why you have 2 players over the ball. We'll see if they run an indirect kick. But Fisher, and that sails over the net.
You could see what he was trying to do. He was trying to hit the opposite side upper corner, but it just roofed.
And a high boot. Taken short. Jabril. And that's going to roll out on him. Headed backwards. And out on Deering. 3.5 minutes to go. One's going to be crossed in. Bachman spins around and into the back of the net. And I believe that was scored by Matthew Booth.
Well, you know, Darren's had all of the momentum going in that direction, and that's how quickly that can happen. And that was amazing. Throw in, hit over to another player, spin around, and
I think a Deering player deflected that, and it went right to Booth, and he booted it into the back of the net.
well, and that's, you know, being at the right place at the right time, and also following the ball and just, you know, being prepared. And that can make all the difference in the world. You know, we've seen some plays where, you know, players are just not standing around looking, but just not prepared for the ball to not do what someone's trying to do with it, and then getting a second chance. And the Scarborough player did exactly that.
It's a high kick, and it's right into the arms of Corey.
Well, you know, and as you said too earlier, the Scarborough team, you know, where they're ranked and only having one loss, it's going to be tough to get that goal back. But Deering's very capable of doing it. It's a tough spot to be in, though.
Under 2 minutes to go. Scarborough leading this over Deering 1-0.
Well, and Scarborough making the best of their opportunity.
And it's going to be a foul. Well, under a minute to go. Sargent getting it to Fisher. Back to Sargent. Sargent crossing it. And that one's going to go out for a goal kick. Abdullahi, 13 seconds. And they got to go quick. 5, 4. And that's going to be the end of the first half.
And it was a pretty exciting first half. I mean, Darren did well. You know, they had 8 corner kicks. And you really got to take advantage of those. And unfortunately, Darren did not take advantage of 8 corner kicks and try to get nothing was on goal whatsoever on those 8 corner kicks.
Yeah, and I believe half of them were in the same sequence. Scarborough kept on kicking it out on the end line 3 times. And so Deering definitely needs to talk about how to put those higher so someone can get ahead on them. They've either been too close to the end line or too low to the ground, and all that traffic in front of the net, someone's going to kick it out.
Yeah, and so nothing that they can't overcome here. It's only one goal, but knowing that Scarborough scored with less than 3 minutes left to go in the first half is kind of, it takes the wind out of your sails for a second, but they still got 40 more minutes to straighten this out. Very capable of doing that.
And all Deering has to do is score one goal and keep Scarborough off of the scoreboard, but it's going to be tough now that Scarborough has the lead.
And they're definitely going to play a cautious but still powerful Scarborough game.
Yeah, the lone goal was scored by Matthew Booth, and that was on a deflection on a great spin move by Bachman, and there was nothing Deering could do about it when you're that close to the net. But we'll see what Deering talks about, but this was the key to the game, that Deering had to start off stronger, and they started off pretty slow, got back into the game, but it let up a late first half goal. Not always the best thing, but it is only the first half. Like you said, there's 40 more minutes. We do have to determine a winner in this game. So Deering, all they have to do is score a goal and make this 1-1. And once you get into overtime, anything's possible. And so halftime score here at Scarborough High School is Scarborough Red Storm 1, Deering Rams 0. And here we go for the start of the second half.
And there's your whistle.
Scarborough starting off with possession. Bayada. Got Bachman to bite on the ball. Out wide. And that's going to be a handball. Castellanos, and caught by Corey.
Way too easy.
Gaucher. And goes out for Bachman. Kicked into the middle. Gaucher brings it down. We'll get it to the middle, and it's kicked out of there. Blanche heading it. And it's going to go off of Diaz. Blanche turning around, kicking it out. Castellano, it's going to fall to Daniel, taken away. And Coleman.
Yeah, and at this point, Scarborough is just going to be booting the ball out.
And that's going to be another corner. It's going to be Peter Sargent taking this one. And goes out. Gaucher will get it up. Newell taking his time. Castellano with space. We'll get it. Fisher. Newell. And Booth. Great slide tackle by Fisher, but can't keep it in. Bayada getting it up. Kick back down the field. Gaucher getting it to Booth. Booth crosses it in. And that one goes wide for Gaucher.
Yeah, both teams with a little bit of pressure here early on.
And for Deering, letting up a second goal would make things much harder. So they're going to have to make sure to put numbers up to score, but not put too many up where they let the back line go too far up. Gaucher takes a deflection, and it rides out for Cooper.
Yeah, misplayed ball. Opportunity for Scarborough to set something up now.
And we have a player down. And so we're going to have trainers go out for look at a head injury, and we'll take a timeout. And we're back. It's Denver Bachman having to go off. Yeah, anytime you reach for the head, it's more of a player safety thing. Could be okay, but you don't want to risk having a player have a serious head injury and continue to play.
Yeah, and some of that too could just be, a little bit of tiredness, but the player is being looked at, his eyes going through not sure what kind of concussion protocol they have here, but definitely being looked at.
Castellano putting it back to Cooper.
And even though he's an integral part of this team, they are winning 1-0. So if he needs to ride the rest of the game out, it may not be too bad of a thing.
Abdullahi, and it goes too far. Falona getting it up the field.
Oh, beautiful
and
move.
Gaucher getting the ball in the corner. Gaucher and can't get around Bayada. It's going to be brought back up. Scarborough has definitely controlled the midfield, not allowing Deering to move it up without having to boot it all the way in the air. Abdullahi gets to Castellano. It falls to Sargent.
Oh,
And Castellano was right in the passing lane. Fortunate for Deering, they keep the ball.
that ball was hit a little too hard, right off the boot, and it bounced away.
Space and a misplay by Jose.
Yeah, I think he thought his teammate was going to be there, but he was a few steps behind where the ball was.
Sargent. And that's kicked high into the air. Cooper heading it to Sargent. It's Fisher. And it's going to be a foul on Scarborough.
All right, let's see if they can drop this one up and over. That's what they need to do. Drop it up and over.
Sargent kicking it up. And a running, trying to see the number. There's a Gusto Daniel flying in there. Abdullahi gets the turnover. Lujan and misplayed.
Yeah, two players for Scarborough going on at the same time. And the player for Scarborough looks like he went through concussion protocol and is going back out on the field.
Yeah, Denver Bachman, integral part in them scoring the lone goal here in this game so far. Under 30 and a half minutes to go. Scarborough leads 1-0 over Deering. Deering with the throw in. Cooper will get it. Diaz and Cooper will bring it down. Abdullahi heading it to Sargent. Fisher bringing it to the sideline.
Ooh. Oh, that was a little dangerous.
And
you can hear someone from the Deering side saying, just play with your head, please. Don't try to do the fancy move. A little too far out for that. But you know what? If it all worked out and went in for a goal, I don't think they would have said the next time to use your head. So
yeah, Deering still has a lot of time to score, but not able to figure out this back line. And that's going to be a foul.
yeah, that was a that's okay in hockey, a little bit of a hip check, but not so much in soccer. Seen Marchand do a lot of those hip checks over the year.
Booted in there. And there's a little bit of a wind. Misplayed, but Scarborough able to get it out of there. And taken away Booth, Fisher, Jabril will get to it. It's crossed in there, and it's going to roll out for a goal kick.
Yeah, you're right. The wind seems to have picked up here suddenly. It is now starting to get pretty windy.
And it's an east, it's a left to right wind, and so Deering going into the wind, and every time they kick it up, you can see that ball hit the airstream, and it slows it right down.
Yeah, it's blowing from the opposite side of the field towards us.
And that's going to be kept in, and it's going to go out for a throw.
No, it's a corner, I think. I think he called it a corner. So that's the first one of the game for Scarborough, right? No, it's a throw.
It's a throw.
Okay, I thought he had his flag down pointing towards the corner.
It's going to be a long throw.
Wow, that's a good throw.
And it's going to be... And that one goes out of bounds, taken quickly. Casey crossing it in, and miss play by Bachman off his head out of bounds.
Well, another good chance there for Scarborough. Darren's got to be real careful. Scarborough's now starting to put a little bit more pressure on. Scarborough's definitely not trying to rest on that 1-0 lead.
And that's going to be a foul on Deering. It's out wide. Casey.
Oh, jeez.
And it's in there and headed away. Sargent not able to get through the two players. Casey. And it's all the way back to Osei.
Yeah, Scarborough mounting something here, and Darren's got to be careful.
That one hits the stream. Sargent. And it's booted down. Just over 23 and a half minutes to go. Two-man wall. Bachman will kick it in there. And it's in the back of the net.
Wow.
Scored by Finn Coburn.
And Finn just like the breeze just blew right in front of that net and knocked it in. I mean, it's like he came out of nowhere.
Yeah, this has been a tough season for Deering, against these top teams. Not
Wow.
able to score many goals against the top competition.
Holy smokes. That was, that was a beautiful goal. It may have been scored against the opponent, Scarborough, but you got to hand it to him. That was a beauty.
Yeah, Deering's problem this season hasn't been defense. It's been putting the ball into the back of the net against the top teams.
Yeah, you were telling me the last game we did for Deering, they've lost to the top 4 teams, correct? In the regular season?
They lost to Portland twice. They lost to the Scarborough team. They lost to Gorham. They lost to Wyndham, and they lost to Falmouth.
The top 5 teams.
Yeah. And so it's going to be an uphill battle here for Deering if they want to get back into this game.
Well, they've had their moments of putting pressure on. They just got to break through.
It's a turnover and Sales for Bachman.
Oh, just got to wait for the player for Scarborough to get off the field. Referee had to blow the whistle. Deering in a hurry to move the ball up and just didn't wait long enough.
Fisher trying to get it up. Kicked away. Bachman had miscommunication with Diaz giving Deering possession. But every time Deering gets the ball up towards Scarborough's back line, that's as far as they've gotten.
Ooh. Wow.
And nothing there. And it's going to be booted high into the air.
But not far. Oh, right back. Well, you can see early on the goalie for Deering was able to boot the ball pretty far. But with this wind blowing pretty hard, that's not going far at all.
And it's going to go out of bounds. 20 minutes to go here in this game. Scarborough up 2-0 over Deering. Lujan. And it's going to be out of bounds. Great defense by Papa Osei. Bachman will get it from Bayada. And Newell had to come flying over to prevent any shot from happening. But the clock is now the enemy for Deering. And Sargent taken off the ball. And
Ooh.
Almeida And that's going to be Gaucher kicking it away from Almeida.
Well, you can see the game getting a little physical, but nothing that the referee is calling a foul on yet.
Newell bringing it up. It is taken away. Booth. It's crossed in there. Abdullahi kicking it away. Sargent will get it up. It's kept in. And it's going to be a free kick.
Oh, holy smokes. I don't know how he saw that. Two players flying in front of him, and he split the difference and had the ball in his arms.
And it's a foul on Deering.
And at this point, Scarborough slowly getting up to the ball.
And it's gotten not only windier, but colder here on this late October night.
Yeah, you know, it's really wild. It's like 45 degrees, maybe even a little cooler with the wind. And in 2 more days, it's going to be 75 degrees for at least a day.
And almost a turnover. Fisher can't get it by Jabril.
But no soccer on that day.
It's deflected.
Ooh.
Abdullahi gets to it. And it's going to be a handball. Taken too quickly. 15 and a half minutes to go. 2-0 Scarborough over Deering. Bayada kicking it in.
Ooh.
Takes a deflection out towards the sideline. Casey bringing it down. Bachman.
Wow, and the good thing about that is it saves a throw in for Deering and they get to move the ball up. That was pretty good play, hugging the line over there.
Jabril can't get by Almeida. Almeida getting it to space. Sargent will get it in there. And misplayed for Alfonso. Had a great header chance, but that glanced off his head right to Seamus Corey.
But it shows Deering that they're very capable here of getting a goal back.
14 minutes to go.
But time is the enemy right now of this Deering team. And Scarborough, like I said, taking that time to get on the ball. Wasting, 10, 15, 20 seconds here and there. This game will get over quick for them.
And that one rides the line.
Oh, mercy.
And no, that's a corner. So the first corner of the game. Denver Bachman taking the corner. That's low. Deering needs to get up. Jose will get it up and kicked away by Coburn. It's going to be kept in by Booth. Bayada getting it to Fisher. Deering needs to score here quickly to give themselves a chance. Oh. And we're going to get some subs. It's Masenga crossing it in. Falls to Sargent. And we'll get back to it. And that's going to go out for Alfonso. It's taken away by Falona, but Deering gets it back. Just over 10 minutes to go. Out wide to Masenga. Throwing it to the corner, and it's going to be a throw-in. And it's going to be played out wide to Booth by Jabril. Jabril will get it back. And that's going to take a deflection out for a Scarborough throw in. 9 minutes to go.
The minutes are shrinking here for Deering. They got to be careful. They got to play a little reckless, but be careful.
And Diaz almost taking it away from Fisher. Fisher strong on the ball to keep it. Out wide to Masenga. And Osei kicking it away. Up to Bachman. Gaucher will cross it in. Booth will not be able to get it towards the net. Deflects back to him. Jabril, and it's taken away, but Falona gets fouled after taking the ball away.
Yeah, that could have almost been called a yellow card because he grabbed him and pulled him down.
Fisher. Sargent in the middle of the field. De Jesus can't get to it. Osei getting it to Gaucher, but Fisher heads it to De Jesus. And
Not sure who he was kicking the ball to, but there was definitely no one there.
6 minutes to go. Abdullahi with Falona on his hip, getting it into the middle and kicked away by Jabril. And Scarborough definitely compacting the midfield, not allowing Deering to move the ball through space.
Yeah, they're still playing defense like it's 0-0.
And it's going to be watched out by Newell. Casey could not get there. It's kept in.
Yeah, Scarborough's still hustling.
And goes to Sargent. OC will get it up. Misplayed. Bachman will throw it towards the corner. And it's going to be picked up by Borland. Fisher.
He's got to get some help.
And just too far out in front for Bayada. Seamus Corey. has not had to work much on those saves this game. 3 minutes to go.
Well, and he's also kept a really good eye where that ball is with all those players around him.
And that's going to be a yellow on Ibrahim Jabril.
And he's gone down. And let's see what, maybe he's got a, it looks like he's got a cramp. But he's going to come out with a yellow card. I think he's about to get up. We'll stay with this. Yeah, there he is. He's coming back off. Ref is going to come over and talk to the coach, tell him what the foul was, what the yellow card was. I mean, we definitely know that this ref has been very, very fair in allowing the play to be a little physical, but I think the Scarborough player kicked the leg of the Darren player, so that had to be called.
And he's been warned a couple times, but this late in the game, and a potential bicycle kick lands on the face of Scarborough player.
Well, that's one way to defend it. You don't want to be defending with your face, but it's still a defense.
De Jesus getting it to Almeida.
Oh, beautiful backheel. Just didn't get there.
Booth getting it to Bachman. Bachman just holding it.
2 minutes.
2 minutes to go. 2-0 Scarborough over Deering.
And I think at this point, what Bachman was just doing is playing keep away so the clock runs.
And it's going to go out. Scarborough most likely will win this game. Booth will kick it down the field, 45 seconds to go. And so this game isn't officially over until the horn sounds. And that's going to be most likely going to do it for this game.
And Scarborough's just going to let the clock run out. There we go. Booted it down the field.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And there you have it. Scarborough wins this 2-0 over Deering.
Yeah, Scarborough just did not allow Deering to put anything together whatsoever in this game. Deering had a few shots at it. They had, I think, 8 or 9 corner kicks that they couldn't get anything together to try to get a goal that way with a header or something dropping in. So they had their opportunities there. but this Scarborough team was swarming everywhere that ball was.
Yeah, I mean, if I would have told you before the game that Deering was going to have a 9-1 corner advantage over Scarborough, you would have told me that Scarborough would have lost this game. But Scarborough played great on the corner. Any set pieces Deering had, Scarborough had an answer for it.
Right. And, and Deering trying to get near that Scarborough net was a tough ask tonight. They were just swarming the ball. And, the two Scarborough goals were pretty snazzy goals. And they did just enough to beat this Deering team. Now, I say that and doing just enough. I mean, was this what they had? Can they do more as they move on further in the playoffs? That remains to be seen, but they certainly did do enough in this one.
Yeah, Finn Coburn scored the second goal for Scarborough, and Scarborough moving one step further than they did last year. Last year they lost 1-0 to Portland, and so they took out their quarterfinal revenge on the other Portland school in Deering. But on the other hand, Deering, tough season against these top teams, and it showed against the Scarborough team. Not able to score many goals against the top 5 teams, and it would have been tough if they moved on through Scarborough. But Scarborough gets the pleasure of playing the winner of Falmouth or Biddeford. If Falmouth wins, they travel there. If Biddeford wins, they play right here later on this week. But Deering's season ends, and I mean, tough. I mean, there's nothing Deering can do, being the Class A South champions from last year. A lot of these players were on that team, but couldn't get it done this season.
Well, they had a number of seniors graduate last year, too, so I think that really hindered their ability.
So, final score in this one is 2-0 Scarborough over Deering, and good luck to Scarborough in the playoffs going forward. But Deering season ends. Saying so long, this has been a production of WPPS TV3 Portland Public Schools. Saying good night.
Thank you very much for watching.